everyone, welcome to Bible Reading with Ariel. Today we are reading Proverbs chapter 19. Better is the poor that walks in his integrity than he that is perverse in his lips, and is a fool. Also that the soul be without knowledge, it is not good, and he that hastes with his feet sins. The foolishness of man perverts his way, and his heart frets against the Lord. Wealth makes many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaks lies shall not escape. Many will entreat the favor of the prince, and every man is a friend to him that gives gifts. All the brethren of the poor do hate him. How much more do his friends go far from him? He pursues them with words, yet they are wanting to him. He that gets wisdom loves his own soul. He that keeps understanding shall find good. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaks lies shall perish. Delight is not seemly for a fool, much less for a servant to have rule over princes. The discretion of a man defers his anger, and it is his glory to pass over a transgression. The king's wrath is as the roaring of a lion, but his favor is as dew upon the grass. A foolish son is the calamity of his father, and the contentions of a wife are a continual dropping. House and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from the Lord. Slothfulness casts into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. He that keeps the commandment keeps his own soul, but he that despises his way shall die. He that has pity upon the poor lends to the Lord, and that which he has given will he pay him back. Chasten your son while there is hope, and let not your soul spare for his crying. A man of great wrath shall suffer punishment, for if you deliver him, then you must do it again. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that you may be wise in your latter end. There are many devices in a man's heart, nevertheless the counsel of the Lord that shall stand. The desire of a man is his kindness, and a poor man is better than a liar. The fear of the Lord tends to life, and he that has it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. A slothful man hides his hand in his bosom, and will not so much as bring it to his mouth again. Smite a scorner, and the simple will beware, and reprove one that has understanding, and he will understand. He that wastes his father and chases away his mother is a son that causes shame and brings reproach. Cease, my son, to hear the instruction that causes to err the words of knowledge. An ungodly witness scorns judgment, and the mouth of the wicked devours iniquity. Judgments are prepared for scorners, and stripes for the back of fools. So there's so much to unpack in this one, and I just want to go back and reread a couple of the verses. So we're going to go back to verse 5 and 9. 5 says, A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaks lies shall not escape. Then 9 says, A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaks lies shall perish. When God repeats something multiple times, and especially so close together, I believe it's important that we really listen. We saw in Proverbs 18:21 that it said, Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. It's clear that God really wants us to be on the side of life and making those good choices. So I'm going to read also verse 12. It says, The king's wrath is as the roaring of a lion, but his favor is as dew upon the grass. Now, in this one, it seems to speak to those who have authority over others. So people in authority have great impact. It makes me think of parents, teachers, bosses, law enforcement. People who are taken more seriously because of what they do is perceived with greater meaning and has more lasting impact just by the nature of their position. And also because of, how our brains operate and respond to those who are in position of power. And so we see that, their angry moments are more fearful, but then their tender moments are sweeter and more cherished. So then I also want to look at verse 16. It says, "He that keeps the commandments keeps his own soul, but he that despises his ways shall die." Now, I find this verse interesting, especially the second part, which in New King James it says, "But he who is careless of his way will die." It's talking about being mindful of your thoughts and your actions in order to keep you from harm. And it makes me think of, the ever so popular mindfulness movement. And I find it pretty interesting that many self-help groups, such as mindfulness and, AA, NA, things like that, that they all take concepts from the Bible. They all have truths about life and about the soul, and that's why they're so helpful. But rather than looking to God, they say, higher power. And it seems as though people want the benefits of, the truths about God, but they don't actually want God, who is the truth. And the godless part of, those addiction groups says, "I will always be an addict." However, in Galatians 5:1, it says to stand fast, therefore, in the liberty by which Christ has made us free, and do not be entangled again with a yoke of bondage. All through the Proverbs, we see sins like lying and laziness, foolishness, carelessness, stealing, manipulating, harsh words, adultery, gossip, backbiting, rebellion, wrath, etc. The purpose is to reveal to us those things that need to be worked out, that you need to take before the Lord and receive freedom from. I am the way I am is a very common mindset, and it's simply not the way that God desires for us to view ourselves. It's just he wants something better for his children. And the "I am the way I am" is a mindset of complacency, even hopelessness, possibly simply laziness. And sure, God will leave you where you are, and if you want to stay there, you can stay there. But our God is a God of hope, and he's a God of empowerment, and he's calling each and every one of us closer to him. John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in Jesus should not perish, but have everlasting life." That is the Almighty God's heart for us, that he looked at his creation and he said, "I love them and I want them so much. They're in this bondage that, either other people or they've put themselves in, and I want to give them my Son. I want to make sure they have a way to be 100% set free." And if any of us really wants to change, God has given us the power to do that through Jesus Christ. We are not hopeless. We are not a lost cause. So, remembering that it is for complete and total freedom that Christ has set us free. So I'll end by reading verse 23, which says, "The fear of the Lord tends to life, and he that has it shall abide satisfied." So that is Proverbs chapter 19. Have a great day, everyone.